Lord, award our hard work and dedication. Let us be successful in all our endeavors. They ain't even seen what we seen. They ain't been through what we've been through. It's a vibe to it. New breed. Lord bless me with tenacity. Yeah. We elevate defying gravity. Crabs in the bucket getting smashed to pieces. Yeah. It's a masterpiece of beautiful catastrophe. My etiquette is poetic. You niggas can have the streets. I just wanna see my kids reach full potential. Yeah. And still visit every hood and not show credentials. Bringing truth in my lyrics parallel with scriptures. Yeah. I'm Hebrew, this the wave, don't gotta keep saying it. My enemies digging plots, then they laying it. I'm praying just like David did, my cannon steady raging. This summer gonna be a scorcher, catch a midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Protected in my fortress, watching rappers get extorted. They just trying to build an image while they vision is distorted. This the future with an old school vibe they ain't used to. Yeah. Body these acoustics, strangulate the beat so you know a brother ruthless. Yeah. Final Jubilee, taking trips to Lucia, Hanover, drinking rum and sangria. Watching Babylon burn, these words of kerosene. They ain't seen what we seen. Life is but a dream, walking down the dark tunnel, we can see the high beams. The results of keeping Torah, disconfigure what they told us. Outcasted to the forefront. Oh Lord, they can't ignore us. Keep it sharp, don't let your sword rust or fade away like sawdust. The industry is getting crushed, that's what I call starstruck. Yeah, that's what I call starstruck. These rappers don't even compare. I'm like the wise omen with a 45 on them. All these wicked lies on them, yeah, these chickens out of order. And niggas jump stupid like fishes out the water. These emotional men, there they go ranting again. They enchanted by some coochie that they can't even sniff. A bunch of Adam ass niggas let Eve do the talking. When we pull a kamikaze, vultures clean up the carnage. Niggas quote Bible scriptures, but they really agnostic. Y'all some funny guys, haha, Avion Crockett. We just building our nation, trying to survive the inflation. You ain't rocking with that, then you still in the matrix. Yeah, you still in the matrix. The results of keeping Torah, disconfigure what they taught us. Outcasted to the forefront. Oh Lord, they can't ignore us. Keep it sharp, don't let your sword rust or fade away like sawdust. The industry is getting crushed, that's what I call starstruck. That's what I call starstruck. Now that we got you where we want you. Oh yeah, it's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Welcome, welcome. As you enter the broadcast, put a 1 in the chat if everything is streaming seamlessly. You can hear me clearly. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. We are live on New Breed Universal ENT. We may have a simulcast going on. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because more than likely this is the platform that is going. I see Jennifer in the house. Denine's in the building. Carol, Empress. Protected by Yaz in the house. Rissa's in the building. My legacy transformed. Yes, pound that like button, everybody. Pound the like button. We got to discuss this brilliant Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. Ladies and gentlemen, it was momentous, where Katt Williams pretty much eviscerated the entire industry. And I watched this early on today. It's been hours since I seen this particular interview. And, you know, I had some things to do, but not only that, I wanted to really, you know, think about some of the things that was discussed on this particular interview. And a lot stood out to me. A whole lot stood out to me. First and foremost, just getting to know the type of person Katt Williams is was very interesting. And he was bringing up the fact that he read over 3,000 books by the time he was 8 years old. And I think that's important for Katt Williams to promote such a positive message such as that. You know, when it comes to his upbringing, the brother was educated. And
that would definitely promote a higher level of thinking towards the youth. And I think that's something that was left out, because, and when I say left out, I mean a lot of people are reacting to all of the drama that was in the particular video, which we're going to talk about that too. But what I think was necessary is the build up to all the drama. He actually went into the Bible, not verbatim, but he paraphrased some scriptures out the Bible. Uh, I thought it was quite interesting when he was asked about the Nation of Islam and how he still stands on the Bible is the number one book, but at the same time, he had to go study each religion. This brother went, he went to the mosque. If he's studying a religion, he wants to go to that place, go to that atmosphere and see what it's about. And I thought that was interesting. It'll make a lot of people more inquisitive just listening to what Katt Williams had to say about his upbringing and his life. And the fact that, Jesus Christ left out of his hometown early on to go pursue his ministry, and not to compare Katt Williams to Jesus Christ. We're not doing that. We're not into no idol worship or anything like that. But I think it's necessary to start raising our men, our young men, our youth, our sons to think like this. Not saying they just jump out there on their own and without a paddle to swim or a life jacket. But I think it's important that we instill, the fact that once you 13, son, 14, you a man. We want them to think outside of the box. Like these youths these days don't think that way. And you got to understand, during the civil rights movement, a lot of the youth was spearheading the whole movement because they were intellects. They were studied. They were grown ass men by the time they was 15. When you think about your Huey P. Newtons and you think about all your real revolutionaries, they were young. And I think that that's what was standing out to me when I was starting to watch the interview. And I said, man, this is a fantastic interview. I watched the whole entire thing. And then it got real serious, man, because he started saying some things that really hit home. He started talking about his jokes being stolen and how these other comedians was basically stealing his jokes. He talked about how Steve Harvey stole from Mark Curry, took his whole spew. You understand? He talked about how, Ricky Smiley tried to get clout off of Katt Williams' performance as Money Mike in the Friday After Next. You know what I'm saying? By trying to align himself with Katt Williams. I could have played Money Mike. It's always somebody trying to align themselves with your work. You know what I'm saying? And then he talked about how, Cedric the Entertainer blatantly stole from Katt Williams. And this is what I've been talking about lately, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking about how content thieves got to be exposed. And often you looked at like the bad guy, you're frowned upon, you get ostracized, isolated, people will turn their back on you just for you calling out the truth. When you saying, listen, somebody stealing my content, my work, my intellectual properties. And y'all already know that hit close to home because I'm going through the same thing here on these YouTube streets. And I know what it feels like. And see, the mark of a man is going to speak out. When it's something that's his, he going to speak out. And it's 2024. Katt Williams came out swinging and doing what a man's supposed to do. Protect what's yours. Because you get tired of people taking advantage. Now, it's crazy because first, before we even get into that, we got to go to the infamous joke that was stolen. Give me one moment.
Says Cedric the Entertainer stole from him. We are going to do a side-by-side, beat-by-beat comparison as well as a little research to get an official answer to whether or not the joke was truly stolen or just a little similar. Katt Williams' premise: black people listen to their music so loud that they can't even hear it when their car turn off. Cedric the Entertainer's premise: black people could fly a spaceship to the moon like a 72 deuce and a quarter. Now, the first obvious similarity is that they both start out bouncing to music the same exact way. The next obvious similarity is how they are turning the wheel. That's almost identical, but Cedric the Entertainer is turning it a little wider because he got a bigger spaceship wheel. Now, this is where they part ways, and Cedric the Entertainer could probably maybe say, my joke is completely different, because Katt Williams has to get out of the car when it stops to get it back started, and he starts directing traffic. However, Cedric the Entertainer cannot get out of the spaceship because
and those are all just semantics. The man stole from Katt Williams. And the truth is always going to come to the light. And this is why I always say that you got to have originality. You got to find your own niche, because once people can see that you are being someone else, once people can see that you are taking somebody else's whole playbook, they're not going to look at you the same. And this is the year of exposure. You got to be your authentic self, man. It's always going to come back to haunt you at the end, man. And now guess what? Cedric the Entertainer's, his legacy is tarnished. People would never look at Ced the same. People would never look at Steve Harvey the same. And we're going to talk about more of this. First of all, let's go through this joke just a little bit more, and then we'll talk about more what was discussed in that epic interview.
He'll float off into the empty void of space, no gravity, no oxygen, you get the picture and all of that. However, he does mimic the directing traffic part. So he's still kind of on the same story beats. But that ends here, because the climax or biggest punchline of Katt Williams' joke is when he had to give the car a push and hop back in, start it up, and start back riding, listening to his music. Now, Cedric the Entertainer gave two different responses to this, and we're going to go over both of them next. But the part that was the most different was how Cedric the Entertainer had to end his joke saying that black people only turn down their music when they got a parallel park. So he turned down the music and parallel parked the spaceship, then cranked the music back up. Now, finally, this was the...
And those are semantics, and this is what they do. They'll steal from you and then argue that it's not exactly the same. Well, that's because you can't do it like the originator. Of course, it's not going to be exactly the same, because you cannot completely mimic the original, but nonetheless, you stole from that man's playbook. And now it's coming back to hunt. You didn't have the originality. Same thing with Steve Harvey and Mark Curry. Took plenty of this man's jokes, didn't, put him on the Steve Harvey show or anything such.
The first of Cedric the Entertainer's two different responses.
What up, y'all? What's up? I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, that may be something that he believes is true.
And, he's trying to claim he didn't do the joke, but he did the joke. What it was, you switched that vehicle for a space shuttle. And this is why he had to give two different responses, because he know what he did. And what I like what Katt Williams said in the interview is, look, you're going to have to see me eventually. We're going to be in the same studio. We're going to be in the same hallway eventually. And that's what it is. When content thieves have to actually run into that person, they don't really know how to react. So they give several different answers, or they just act like it don't even exist, right? So I thought I would point that out. Now we got to talk a little bit more about some of the more I would say, inflammatory commentary that Katt Williams was bringing on display, because he was exposing the industry, y'all. I'm talking about he was exposing the industry, y'all. Deeper than just stolen jokes, man. And he put some things on blast here. There's a couple things that that some may have missed, but we're gonna go in. We're gonna let Katt speak.
War on several of his fellow comedians. I'm John Apple. 3 days into the new year, and Katt Williams has officially declared war on several of his fellow comedians. The 52-year-old veteran comedian would hold nothing back during a new interview with sports commentator and host Shannon Sharpe for an episode of his podcast, Club Shay Shay. As many of us know, Katt has always had a few things to say about the likes of Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, and others in past interviews, so for many, this would be another classic Katt Williams moment. When discussing Kevin Hart with Shannon, Katt would mainly allege Hart for being an industry plant and that some of his early history appears to be a mystery.
Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? What do you think a plant is? And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe.
And that's real talk what he said. He hates to feel like a petty person for picking apart lies, but when it comes to legacy, when it comes to digging back into the annals of time and remembering how things are, you know, if there's not truth tellers, if there's not people who are going to set the record straight, if there's not people who going to tell it like it is, no matter what, and expose what people are doing, then you know what, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, history gets retold and there's no truth in it. So I find this interview highly important, and I can truly relate to it, because this is what happens among the industry, and it's also happens here on social media. And it's like nobody has any moral compass. It's just these bullies that are stealing, not giving credit to where credit is due, not giving honor to where honor is due. And, you know, it's just unacceptable. You understand? And it's more than appropriate for Katt Williams to come and defend his legacy. I don't care what nobody think and what nobody say. It's important to speak your mind. It's important to tell the truth and expose the liars. Shame the devil. You understand? And he's bringing out the truth, because we seen Kevin Hart, rather. We seen him say he wasn't going to wear a dress. Next thing you know, he was on Saturday Night Live in a damn dress. So there's some inconsistency in Kevin Hart off the break. When these guys are willing to do anything for a check. And somebody said it in the chat. We got manufactured idols, and then the ones who put in the work get put on the back burner. Let's go.
That liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves. They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. Wow. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous.
And that's very important what he just said. You know, I called out a content creator who was stealing my whole playbook. Of course, I didn't get the accolades and the support that Katt Williams got. But you know what they called me for telling the truth? They called me bitter and they called me jealous. They said, you bitter and jealous. They said, New Breed, you are angry, angry man. Well, let somebody be stealing from you for years. Let somebody be outsourcing you for years. Let somebody be robbing you of your intellectual property for years and see how you're going to act. It's called being a man when you stand up for yourself. And that's what Katt Williams is doing. And this year, we not playing those kind of games with people who just want to steal and not give honor where honor is due. Let's go.
But in my face, no.
Now, on Thursday morning, Hart would give his reaction to Williams' latest diss. In a post shared on X, Hart would fire back at Williams along with promoting his newest project coming to Netflix. Gotta get that anger about you, champ. It's honestly sad. In the meantime, please enjoy my movie trailer to my next film, Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix.
And, you know, out of all of the people who had responses to Katt Williams, Kevin Hart's was the worst. Stunting on him, my movie trailer, and all of this kind of stuff. You know, mark your calendars, promoting his special. Listen, out of all the things Kevin Hart could have done to respond, that was the wrong road to take. You know, I heard some things said about Luda. I heard some things said about, wow, man, Chris Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Katt Williams said some inflammatory things towards these industry guys. He said that, yo, peep this. He said that Chris Tucker done been to them Epstein Islands. Yeah, man. But let's not even go there right now. Let's go back to that here in a moment, because the list's about to be put out. Actually, the lists are already out, but a lot of people on that list aren't proven guilty. So I'm not even going to speak too much into that. But yeah, I don't think Katt Williams just said that out of nowhere. That's a hell of a charge right there. But you know, he said some things about Luda taking the $1 billion 10 movie deal, and how it was between him and Luda took the deal. I don't know if Luda had to do the rituals or anything like that to get that deal. But Luda's clapback was serious. You know, Luda clapped back with a freestyle. You know, he clapped back in the best way he knows how. And then, you know, you had what's his name, Ricky Smiley, who Katt Williams also alluded to a ritual and sacrifice of Ricky Smiley's son. He did allude to that, didn't say it directly, but he said, you know, this is the reason why people believe in blood sacrifices and rituals, because of the lies you tell, you know. And that was something. So, you know, but out of all of the responses, which Ricky Smiley responded pretty amicable. He probably done the best damage control that anybody could have done in that situation. You know, it is what it is. He played the politically correct way of responding. I'm pretty sure he had some help. Actually, he did have some help, because he actually had help come on the radio to support him through that. Probably one of those producers, one of these Gentiles he had on there that was supporting him. But nonetheless, Katt was pretty much blowing the lid off the industry, man. He's blowing the lid off the industry. And if you can remember, he's done this before, and they made him look crazy. And somebody said it, man, and I was going to get to that, man. Yo, another thing that was very interesting about the interview is how Shannon Sharpe's reactions were, bro. They were incredibly just entertaining, bro. Cause I didn't see Shannon Sharpe throwing any hand signals up. I didn't see any of that. Like, he didn't show that he was part of the brotherhood or nothing, but he was just thrown away. It's like he never been in front of somebody who just speaks straight like that. But it was very interesting, to say the least.
Netflix in 8 days. There is a moment in the trailer where Google and Bathra says they really love you. I know she's talking about Katt. Mark your calendar, world. This one is special. Now, Hart wouldn't be the only person to respond. Others will also comment on Williams' interview, including Hart affiliate and Plastic Cup Boys, Span Corden. As he would also go on X to write, he comes back every 3 to 5 years to talk about the same shit. So instead of telling the truth, you want to lie about movies that hit your desk first, LOL. What homosexual role did Kev do in them 5 movies?
You know, all Kevin Hart's roles are emasculated. He either getting smacked around by them Gentiles, or you know, he's getting treated like the little guy, and he's just getting emasculated. He's getting put in a very cowardice position. You know, he just, the roles that Kevin Hart tend to play in seem to be like emasculating. You know, I don't know which movie it was, but I don't know if it was called Get Bad with Will Ferrell. That was horrible. He played in another one with the white guy slapping them all in his head. John Travolta was slapping them all upside his head. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's horrible, yo. You letting John Travolta just slap you all upside your head, bro, and emasculate you like that. That's just crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go.
You couldn't leave the country to do Fool's Gold in Australia, so the role got passed to Kev. For those who have been following the beef between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart, you remember that their tension would start when Williams was originally to star in the 2008 film Fool's Gold, but due to his then legal issues, he had to pass on the opportunity, which required him to film in Australia.
So is Kevin Hart a plant? I mean, I don't know. He could be a plant. But there's a cult classic that Kevin Hart played in, and it was called Paper Soldiers. And it had Beanie Siegel, it had the guys from the Rock Nation. And I think that's what kind of got, you know what I'm saying, attention on Kevin Hart. But you know, Katt Williams would know more than me if he's a plant. But I can distinctly remember Kevin Hart doing movies, like low budget movies, way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So a sellout, I think so. A plant, I don't know. A sellout, absolutely. A plant, I don't know. But you know, it is what it is.
And instead, Kevin Hart would get the role. According to our research, ever since then is when the Williams and Hart beef would be sparked. Outside of the responses from Hart and team, Michael Blackson, D. Ray Davis, Gary Owen, and several other notable comedians would also react.
Yo, you know, and they had to react. They had to react. When you speaking the truth, man, people have to react. And I think another angle that Katt Williams was taking was he was kind of trying to bring, hold on. I think Katt Williams was trying to bring the competitive nature out of his constituents and peers. Katt Williams was definitely trying to challenge these guys to be better, in a sense. Because when he was talking about Michael Blackson, he was like, you know, Michael Blackson need to be booed. You know, he was like, how you an African, you know what I'm saying, using a fake African accent. And he told him, basically, he gave him the play, and they hate him for it. He told him how to move in the industry, how to change his apparel up, how to get in that position. And in turns, all he got was hate for it. And y'all know how it is, man. You put somebody on to something, and instead of them being grateful, they resent you for it because they didn't come up with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be careful who you give advice to sometimes. Some people you just got to sit back and watch from a distance, even if they asking for your help. There's some people you just can't even give no advice to. It's like, I'm gonna give you some advice that's gonna bring you some success, and then you're gonna hate me for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of that? But it is what it is. Let's go.
To Williams' newest interview. From the looks of Williams and Hart's back and forth, it appears to be a standoff between numbers and records versus the heart and spirit of the people. And for many, as impressive Hart's numbers may be, it's Katt Williams' non-conforming approach that gets people excited the most. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. How do you feel about Kevin Hart's response to Katt Williams' interview with Shannon Sharpe? And as you know, for the latest news and comedy, and even for moments like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you know, Katt Williams was saying how he ain't get plucked by the industry. He ain't get violated. And he said he would go to some roles. Man, he brung a lot out, y'all. He said he would go audition for certain roles that require sitting with certain people and doing certain things. And those guys would get those roles and he wouldn't. So it's crazy. Hold on, I got more for y'all. Hold on one moment. We got to talk about Steve Harvey too. Everybody thumb the video up.
All of Black Hollywood, they feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
And this is real talk, man. Katt is definitely bringing the cat out the bag. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. When he's talking about these guys wearing these damn dresses, bro. Like, they all put on these damn dresses. There's even one part of this particular interview where Katt is talking about Big Mama's house and how Martin tried to get him to play in Big Mama's house. And that's crazy because it's like, he's like, Martin, you ain't got to do that no more, bro. And like, you know, Martin, you just ain't got to do, you ain't got to put on no dress no more. Like, what is going on in this industry where they want to put you melanated men in dresses? Seriously. And you know, and y'all know how I feel about Ricky Smiley, man. Ricky Smiley, I believe he sacrificed his son. And that's just my personal beliefs. He's one of those Q dogs. He's heavy into the fraternity. And Katt Williams said basically he had to be undeniably great to get close to the industry, learn what they do without being a part of it. And that's how he explains how he got into some of these circles. And he also talks about how a lot of them are basically fearful of him because he knows what they do. He haven't done it, but he knows what they've done because he's been around too long. So he's that one guy that's walking into the room and everybody's shame is showing. Now, how many of you chosen ones out there understand what it's like to walk into a room and you can see everybody's shame and everybody know what they done? Either they done something to you or they done something real grimy behind closed doors. And you the one that's know what's going on and everybody see you and everybody's ashamed. And it's almost like a fear. So then you become a black sheep because of it. Not because you done anything wrong or brought out any secrets. You still getting the same treatment in your silence. Just because you're not exposing everything and putting everything out there, you still get mistreated. So you might as well tell it all.
More than just beautiful dance. It's a touch of the divine.
Well, I didn't know
He shouldn't be able, you wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? at home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told
And see, that's what I'm talking about. People trying to align themselves up with your work just to be mentioned among your name. Cleaving to your name, cleaving to your work to get the notarization from it. I can't stand people like that, bro.
everybody. It should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was.
Sir, no one. Why no? He was with KD. He beat up Terry Crews. Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he, what?
So
Ricky Smiley knows this. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. As it would did it on TV in 2018. You can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available.
That's one thing about it, man. When you being your authentic self, man, can't nobody do you like you do you. And eventually they're gonna get exposed. They're gonna run out of jokes. They're gonna run out of content. They're gonna run out of everything. And it's just not gonna hit the same, y'all. And once you can see that somebody is a thief, bro, it's not gonna hit the same. Cause you're gonna be like, well, damn, there is a lot of similarity. See, a lot of times, y'all gotta understand like this, right? A lot of times, us as the audience, we don't get it because we just looking for entertainment. But the work, the time, the countless hours that the artists put in, they can see what they're doing. And it's time for the audience to be able to see what the artists are seeing. Because once you see it that way, only the best of the best are going to get in positions. The music industry does not have the best artists. The reason why they're able to spoon feed y'all and force feed y'all trash is because we just consumers with everything. We don't learn history of nothing. This is why you got to be a studier. You have to be astute with any genre that you are interested in. So nobody could pull a wool over your eyes. So you, the fans of various content, can get the very best. You can't get the very best when there's people propping themselves up and gallivanting as geniuses and idols and these great icons, and they're not doing the damn work. That's why we got Sexy Red running around. That's why it's no artist development now. Because people don't care. If you speak out against somebody taking your playbook, you just hating and you jealous. And I knew that's what they was going to do. I knew that's the narrative they was going to take. Oh, he weird. He jealous. He crazy. Why he wilding out like that? He on drugs. What happened to him? Who hurt him? I knew they was going to do that to Katt. Because this happened to me many times just for telling the truth, y'all. Just for telling the truth. I'm telling you, bro. This was phenomenal, man.
Available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi. Saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side.
Exactly. It's God's side and the other side. God's side is about truth. The devil's side is about lies.
And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them.
It's up from here, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's up from here. Anybody trying to go against real people, bro, you're going to get exposed. Anybody sitting on a high horse, anybody trying to attack righteous people who leaning on the side of the Most High, you're going to get dealt with this year. I'm telling you. We seeing it with TD Jakes getting exposed. We seeing a whole lot. This exposure season. And I'm telling you, this is why I'm saying the chosen ones are going to be vindicated, man. I can see it this year. This is literally our year. We not playing. We are not playing no games. The abuse stops. Everything they stolen from us, we want it back. We going to get what we deserve this year. It ain't no games being played. It's literally up from here. Like, I feel sorry for anybody who speak on our names wrong, bro. I feel sorry for anybody who speak on God's chosen people wrong. It says, touch not my anointed. Touch not my elected. Because a lot of people be thinking this industry and the devil and the demons, they think they more stronger than the Most High. And you got it twisted. You got it bent. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all keep on playing around with God's people all you want. See what happens.
It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
Right. They take it the wrong way because they the liars. They the counterfeits. They the ones who've been feeding off the righteous, the 1/3, the light bearers, the army of the Most High. So if you fake, if you evil, if you all about yourself, you're going to get exposed. Real talk.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Shit. I kind of get on there.
Right.
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me one more time.
Right.
Yo, Shannon had to drink to that because Shannon like, oh, well, that was heavy right there. That was heavy right there. Shannon like, I got to make sure I got my ducks in a row. He said, I got to have a couple of drinks to that because, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, man. And I was saying this as soon as this so-called New Year hit. I was like, man, this the year right here. It's up from here. Anybody crossing God's chosen people gonna have it. I'm telling you. Let me see. Let's go.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah.
Oh, because
I was gonna ask you that.
because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect.
Hey everybody, DJ here. As an investor,
The interview got 11 million views in a day. That's crazy. And then look, we got another sellout, The Rock, on here. Fleecing all those people in Hawaii.
in Acorn,
When you were Oprah, could have paid for those people.
which is a saving and
Information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
no, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why they are fearing him, because he's gathered all this information.
That I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has.
You know, that's what they always do to you. When you speaking the truth and you shaming the devil, they always trying to say that you on some damn drugs. And that's why Kevin Hart is such a sellout because he went on the Breakfast Club some time back claiming that Katt Williams was on some hard drugs and that's why he couldn't, get roles or whatever the case may be, when truthfully Katt Williams just didn't want to jeopardize his integrity. He didn't want to jeopardize his morals. But this is what they always do. Try to say you on some drugs and you crazy and all of that. What happened to that person? No, that person's just telling the truth. And the truth make people uncomfortable. People want you to be back in the box. People want you to remain silent. They don't want they don't want their demons exposed. Real talk.
Ever lost money with me on the script? How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told them to go get the Prowler. I then told them to paint it purple. I told them don't have an actor playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later.
For the person in the chat says Katt never exposed cloning labs in MK Ultra. What is that supposed to mean? So are you saying that we should disregard everything he's exposing about the industry, the counterfeits, the wicked behavior they got going on behind closed doors, the parties, and I mean, exactly what are you trying to say? I don't understand that comment. This what I mean. Nothing is ever good enough for our people, bro. Ain't nothing ever good enough. Somebody put her on timeout. We can't never be good enough, bro. I'm telling you. Well, he didn't expose Area 51. What about the aliens, New Breed? What about the aliens? Thanks. I was waiting for you to say another comment so I could time you out. Let's see how long I want you on timeout. Let's put you on timeout for like, let's give you like 5 minutes. Just think about it. Just chill out for a minute. All right, let's go.
And try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
Why didn't Cube set the record straight? Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why none of them set the record straight?
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that no one's ever heard. Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard. Oh, Ben Affleck and...
Hey, Shannon Sharp is a character. I thought he was going to be like, hey, Skip. Hey, Skip. I thought he was going to come out and yell, hey, Skip, for a second. I got a flashback from when he was on ESPN for a minute. Yo, Shannon, wow, though. Let's go.
Matt Damon was in a movie and somebody said, y'all should switch roles. Like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Kat. Normally when people are giving you information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time and they're giving information no one else knows or has ever heard. So I'm taking them at face value.
These are like, this is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve.
Yo, ain't it crazy how they'll take your whole damn story, though? I don't think Steve Harvey was ever homeless either, man. Steve Harvey from West Virginia, bro. I know some people who knew Steve Harvey. Come from a good family. But anyway, let's go.
Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told.
Somebody said he's from Ohio. Well, he lived in West Virginia for some point in time, for a good amount of time. I think he moved to Ohio when he was younger and he was born in West Virginia. But anyway, let's go.
Told us it was her, then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. That Guy Torrey did a beautiful.
And you know, that's what it seemed like. Katt Williams was the most amped up about these people trying to rewrite history and steal from him. And I just relate to what he's saying so much going into 2024. Because when you think about all you've done, bro, when you think about your life, your walk, you don't want nobody taking what's yours. You don't want nobody stealing your legacy, bro. You don't want nobody copycatting you. You don't, I mean, it's just something about knowing your own mortality. Knowing your mortality, knowing what you've built, understanding your life's work, and knowing that there's people trying to act like they're you, but they didn't go through what you went through to get where you got. But they try to align themselves up with your name. That sucks, y'all. I'm telling you. I've been going through this. And then when you call it out, what happens? You get made to look like the criminal, not the people who stealing. Because remember, when it came to Jesus and Barbarous, y'all chose Barbarous. Y'all chose a thief. Ain't that something? Our people always choose Barbarous. And it's just like, I mean, that's real talk. And they still to stay relevant. And when you think of Steve Harvey was one of them haters, man. I could see him being an Uncle Tom. I could see him running to those people. Same thing with Kevin Hart. You know, sitting on a master's lap, you know, giving up names. I believe that they did something to Bernie Mac to this day. I really do. Word in the streets was that Bernie Mac was exposing certain things, and Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, and others, well, you know, even though Katt Williams defended D.L. Hughley, I think D.L. Hughley got sworn into the Brotherhood late. D.L. Hughley, because if you can remember, not too long ago, a few years back, D.L. Hughley got sworn into the Q Dogs. He aligned himself with Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? So I think D.L. Hughley, he with them too, but I don't know if he had anything to do with Bernie Mac getting lined up, if he got lined up. You know what I'm saying? I'm only speculating, because when somebody as real as Bernie Mac goes in the industry, I gotta think somebody has something to do with it, and it's usually the people close to you. Just think about that.
Special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made. All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
Hey, I like how I like how Katt Williams clapped back at Wanda Sykes too, when she tried to set him up on the radio a few years ago. Because Shannon Sharp brung that out. Shannon Sharp was asking all the real questions too. So I gotta say, he conducted a good interview, because once he seen Katt Williams was in his zone, that he finna tell everything. That's what you want to do. You want to have a line of questioning where you can really ask the questions that people want to know. And the way Katt Williams answered each question was immaculate. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no idol worship. It ain't no, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting Katt Williams on a pedestal or anything like that. But I know a good interview when I see one. You know what I'm saying? But let's go.
there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
How do celebrities...
Now, some would say that Katt Williams is just jealous of these guys and he want to be where they at and all these kind of things. That's the most cliche response that you're going to get out of people. It's like, I don't understand why people think like that. Do you really think Katt Williams is hurting for money? Do you think that he is hurting for fame? This is the same man that sold his Hollywood, not even sold, his Hollywood star. He actually paid for somebody else, for somebody else's name to go on the Hollywood star. I can't remember the actress that he put in his Hollywood star, but he don't seem like the type of person that's doing it for the accolades. He's legit just want what's his. That's what I'm saying. It's like y'all get mad, and I'm just relating to this because it's like people get mad when you just want what's yours. You want the respect you deserve. You want to stay in the lane you created, but you don't want nobody else taking what's yours. It's just that simple.
Celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate hundreds of millions of dollars. It's actually...
He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you.
And that's what I'm saying. People call you petty. Oh, that's petty stuff. You know how many people, because I exposed somebody who was stealing my content and stealing other people's content and has gained a large following from it. You know how many people in the last week said, you know, that's some petty stuff. I had people reacting. I got all kind of mentions, all kind of everything. And you know what I said? I said, this world is upside down. Y'all must don't know what's about to happen in 2024. If somebody don't call out Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying. Like Katt Williams said, you ain't gonna see the real from the fake. It's gonna come a time where you can't even decipher the difference. We're not having the misinformation and disinformation agents out here doing what they doing, man. It's not happening. That's why I was getting rid of so many people on my platform. I was like, look, if you don't belong here, you unsubscribe. But I know my work that I built. And I know when somebody else is stealing from me. And not even having the respect to show honor. I don't think people understand how that feels. Only real men understand how that feels. Only real women understand how that feels. And this what got Katt Williams so turned up right now. That's just like everything you work for. That's your life. Somebody playing with. Man, real talk.
Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Man, do you hear what the man is saying? Yo, I'm getting hyped. Satan cannot create anything. Satan can't create anything, y'all. The counterfeits, the meat suits, the NPCs, they can't create nothing, y'all. And Satan can't bless their people. They're literally eating off your blessings. Good friend of mine, former member of Drew Hill, Woodrow, best singer of Drew Hill. I would argue any day that my friend Woodrow, my brother Woodrow, was the spiritual force behind Drew Hill, the singing group. He started Drew Hill. And this man, when I tell you, he was the blessing of the group. Once he left, the blessings stopped. So much so they kept going on different shows, kept going on different podcasts, trying to gaslight my brother to get him out, to get him basically to trigger him, to get him to respond, just so they can feed off of his energy. That's how serious it was. Of course, I got a song with the brother, man. And I know how talented he is. But most of all, I know him personally. And I know that this man is a very deep brother. And I know some stories that happened where it was life or death situations. And if Woodrow wasn't there, no telling what could have happened in those situations. So I understand what Katt Williams says when he says the devil can't create anything. Chosen ones, 1/3. Everything that you see in this matrix reality, in this makeshift, in this world you living in, everything that's being built up is being built off of your essence, off of your blood, sweat, and tears, off of your intellectual properties, off of your ingenuity, off of your everything, y'all. Y'all souls cultivate this environment. You are the salt of the earth, chosen ones. But the issue is not enough people are bold enough to put their foot down and reclaim what's theirs. There's not enough people bold enough to be hated. There's not enough people bold enough to go against evil. They want you to just keep your head down and not offend nobody, not step on no toes. Christ come to bring separation. He said, I come to bring but a sword. You can't afraid for people to turn their backs on you and walk out of your life for the truth's sake. Especially when it's almost time, ladies and gentlemen, to reclaim what is ours. We the only ones standing in our way.
Liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Yo, he said the biggest job for these celebrities is just to act like they didn't sell their soul. Being silent. This is what I'm talking about. This is why God's people can't be silent. We can't be silent. So what Katt Williams is trying to say is, he's saying that him being outspoken is the God that's operating. That's the light operating in him. Because he's not operating in fear or shame or guilt. The weak emotions that Satan wants you to operate in. Satan wants you to feel like you're not good enough to speak the truth. Oh, who are you? Look what you've done in your past. You can't possibly help somebody. You can't possibly speak life into somebody. You can't possibly do the right thing from here. God will never forgive you. Look at all you've been doing. That's how Satan works. And that's what's going on in the industry. Their biggest job is just to shut the hell up, sit on a master's lap, take a paycheck, and be emasculated. I'm telling you.
Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't.
Exactly.
But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
And that's how it is, man. We gotta redirect our minds. This is about good versus evil. And everybody who can make you laugh, smile, cry, feel a certain way ain't good. So dividing the good and evil is what the problem is for a lot of people. Just because somebody can give you a emotionally filled performance don't make them real either. There's some damn good actors out here who can make some tears come out your eyes, but they playing for evil. That's why you gotta have that discernment, because when the real righteous ones are teamed up, even when they few in number, once you get on that line of scrimmage, it's on and popping. The Most High's people gonna win 10 times out of 10, even if the odds are stacked up against us. And that's what we need to understand. No weapon formed against us will prosper. If you believe that word, you're not gonna be scared. Shannon asked him, was he scared to be blackballed? No, he's not scared to be blackballed. He's been blackballed many times, but he still make it. He's still selling out comedy shows. Let me tell you something, people. I can relate to that too. I've been around doing my thing for years, and whatever respective field of work you in, y'all probably can relate too. When you have people sitting around trying to stop your momentum, every time you get to flying, they get to clipping at your damn wings. Every time you get to get some momentum, here they go, get to knocking you down. Lord knows I know what that feels like. Lord knows I still ain't got what I deserve yet. But they ain't stopped me. And they ain't stopped you. Real talk, man.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein.
Now he said, you see, he just brung up something very clear. He said all these shortcut takers. He brung up legacy. This is what I've been ranting about for the last 2 weeks, y'all. Legacy. And then you got other people taking shortcuts. I showed you a content creator that stole titles verbatim. That's not okay. I done showed you a content creator that stole my talking points. That's not okay. So much so, even use my talking point to rebuttal me. That's not okay. Talking about your light irritates their demons. Don't you know that's my talking point? How the hell somebody gonna use something I came up with to rebuttal me? It's not fair that we put in this work. We do what we do in our respective fields of work, and other people are literally taking shortcuts, literally spamming to get in your algorithm and steal what you being built. I can't stand a shortcut taker, but they want the accolades of being somebody, and they nothing because they didn't do the work. Don't even understand and completely comprehend what they're stealing. Somebody say, you came up with that question mark. Yes, I came up with that. Yes. But you would not know that because there's so many people repeating it and then say, yo, I was watching this stream with Newbury. He said our light irritate their demons. Yes, I came up with that. That's a fact. But see, we living in a time where nobody gives credit. And that's why Katt Williams is so worked up.
Before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency.
Oh, damn.
What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do?
Wow. He telling you how the industry get down. So if it was 3 more actors there and they got offered the same thing you got offered, but they playing in that film, you already know what that means. They was out here getting, you know what I'm saying, getting bent over the casting couch and getting sucked off by other grown-ass men, bro. That's what was going on in the industry. Out here getting thighed like Hassan Campbell. Getting thighed. It's crazy, bro. All for a damn movie role, though. All for a movie role. All to be seen in the damn bright lights. They was out here getting swallowed up. TD Jakes. So you telling me Weinstein came to Katt Williams, asked him, have he ever been swallowed? That's crazy, bro. Ask him, have he ever been swallowed? It's sick, man. That industry is sick.
And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
See?
Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous.
Right. But then when they see you, it's like, they know you telling the truth, bro. It ain't nothing like when they know you telling the truth. Heads go down. Eyes roll or heads go down.
But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves.
Yep. I done heard Katt Williams, not Katt Williams. I done heard Kevin Hart tell his guests to be quiet. I think, who was it, yo? It was the girl that was on American Idol. I can't remember her name, but there was some footage going around where she was talking about getting offers and how she, you know, they offering $1 million to do this. And then the show came back and Kevin Hart was like, shh. Hey, we can't talk about that. I seen him and Jay-Z, Kelly Clarkson. It was Kelly Clarkson. And I seen videos of Kevin Hart and Jay-Z talking. And they thinking they off camera and they talking about going in those doors. I'm telling you, man, the industry, in order to get in those doors, man, you got to do certain things. And we wonder why Jay-Z running around here dressing like the gay artist Basquiat. You wonder why. Hey, Jay-Z trying to give y'all some breadcrumbs too. Y'all think Jay-Z ain't like Diddy, but he probably worse than Diddy. Allegedly, he done got Rihanna over here off that damn island when she was about 10, 11. Allegedly. But we ain't even going to talk about that. Because Jay-Z ain't going through his humiliation ritual yet. But who knows? It might come out this year. You never know. It might come out this year, some of Jay-Z's extracurricular activity. When this damn list come out, you don't know what the hell is gonna come to the forefront. It's gonna get real this year. Let's go.
I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit.
To that point, you say...
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
And you know, that's what they do. They sit back and watch and see that it was a good joke. He's talking about the Cedric the Entertainer joke, and we seen it. He stole a joke. He just turned the car into a spaceship. That's all. He stole that man's joke.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab to help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how.
And that's how it be. They be watching, bro. They be watching. And won't even acknowledge that they watched the joke. And see, that's the part I'm real mad at with Cedric, right? Katt Williams is giving you a date and a time. He's giving you a time, what show it was. He came to the show. Pardon me. In Cedric the Entertainer's response, he didn't acknowledge that he seen the joke. You know what I'm saying? The interviewer, oh no, he did it on a live stream, but the question for Cedric the Entertainer, did you see him do that joke before? He tried to act like he ain't know nothing about it, bro. It's like, all right, so are you watching that person? Did you see that person's content? Did you see that person's show? That they're accusing you of stealing something from them. We have some real commonalities here. They won't even acknowledge that they watched it. And that's what makes them so angry. They won't even acknowledge the fact that they are watching. And they did see you talk about that. They play stupid, bro. And you caught red-handed. Telling you, bro.
How much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach.
Hey, yo. That's what I'm saying, though, man. That stop taking people's content, bro. Like, y'all don't understand what that does to real brothers, man. Like, yo, that's like the worst thing you could do is just be stealing from somebody, bro. And I think Katt Williams would have hit Cedric. And y'all know, y'all remember when Katt Williams got balled up by that 12-year-old? Don't act like Katt Williams didn't get folded up by a teenager. Cedric probably would have rolled all over Katt Williams, but I think Katt Williams would have had the heart. I think he really would have popped off on said. It just wouldn't have ended Like what Cedric said, I don't think it would have ended like you thought it would have ended, Katt. But I do not take the heart away from Katt. It don't matter. Win, lose, or draw, you gonna fight for what's yours. But you know, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come through and talk about this, man. Stop stealing people's intellectual property, man. The industry has been exposed, is gonna keep being exposed. You know, man, all praises to the Most High. Thank y'all for catching another broadcast. I don't know which platform I'm gonna have this on, but nonetheless, if you're not subscribed to New Breed Universal ENT, make sure to make your way over there. All right. But all praises to the Most High. Thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a good one. With that being said, shalom and peace.